It's
Ray Minkowski and the one and only Lisa Brandt, standing in Hy-Vee, Sycamore, Illinois. Hopefully you actually did check this out. We're talking about something that is kind of a value for almost all of us.
Yes.
And one of the things you just said is don't use the crisper drawer on the refrigerator. Why?
Yeah. Well, I always tell all our customers that I take around the store that if I put something fresh in my crisper drawer, inevitably I forget about it and I leave it in there, and the next thing I know it's gone bad and I'm like, oh, I had that broccoli. So first thing you do when you get home from the store, take your fresh produce, cut it up, stick it in a glass bowl or jar or something where you can see it, and don't stick it in that crisper drawer.
So
you'll forget about it.
The crisper drawer means you're gonna forget it's there.
Right.
You're gonna throw it out, and I would throw it out and say, there goes $3.
Right.
So
my husband would say that too.
And the better option would be, it's very analytical.
Yes.
The better option would be to put it in a clear container where you can actually see it. And I actually one of our clients a couple years ago had made that suggestion of using mason jars to put your vegetables in because they actually stay fresher longer. And it's also a great way to bring salad to work or on the go. Don't put your dressing in so it'll make it a soggy mess. But you can actually make your salad in the jar, put the lid on, put it in the fridge. You can actually make it in advance. It will keep for a few days. And just put your dressing in one of those small Tupperware containers and you've got a very portable
You could probably make a
salad.
week's worth of those salad jars and put them, those mason jars.
Without
and put
them
them
spoiling?
in, yeah, without
So
them spoiling.
long,
Put them
so
in your refrigerator. It's about a week.
About
5 days.
All right, so about 5 days. And again, it goes back to if you're going to be successful, you have to prep. And if you don't prep, it's going to be next to impossible to make better food choices during the week or when life gets crazy and busy.
Right.
You're pointing at
I'm pointing at the salad greens because what I do with salad greens is as soon as I get home from the store, I'll wash them all up, cut them up, and put them again in a big bowl, make a big salad with it, stick it right in the fridge, and now it's easy and convenient to use.
And you have that top of mind.
It's a little work when I get home, but but then it's already done and I can pull it out for dinners that week or whatever.
And that's probably one of the things that we continually see with most people over and over and over again, especially those that have kids or I guess really the typical American lifestyle today. It's easier to spend that hour on Sunday making those 5 salads, washing and cutting the greens up and have it ready to go than it is to try and make 5 or 10 minutes every day to prepare it for dinner, because that oftentimes means you're just not going to do it. And that was one of the topics that led to the video we're doing today. And that is, if you're not actually going to eat it or you're going to put it in the crisper drawer and forget about it, it doesn't matter how healthy the broccoli slaw is. We'll talk about that in a minute. If you're not going to eat it anyways, it's not going to be a benefit to you. If you're not going to have time during the week to actually make and prepare the fresh vegetables or salad, you might as well not buy them, or you might want to look for some better options, which we actually have here.
Right, so like this is all quick and easy done for you. So you could use these in one of those jar salads. You could do some greens in it, and then you could also do these shredded carrots and the broccoli slaw, or you can just make a salad out of these guys.
And we've actually done that. So
which we did that in a class.
We did that in a class, and it was a huge hit. And literally, you take the washing, the cutting, and repackaging out of the picture, and all you have to do, it's as easy as pouring this in a bowl or the jar for use later in the week, along with some shredded carrots, which I don't think I was aware of that particular day that you could actually buy.
And nuts. We could do nuts.
And you can add nuts. You can add chicken.
Yep. Definitely
steak.
Chicken. Yeah, steak.
Or any number of things. And again, all you have to do is go to the grocery store and pick something like this up.
Right.
Now, what about asparagus? It's in season, isn't it?
Well, it's in season right now, and that's why I picked it. And so everybody's like, what do you do with asparagus? Well, I roast it in the oven, or I will put it on the grill. And so what you could do is you can marinate it first in a little bit of olive oil and some garlic and black pepper or whatever seasonings you like. And then I put it in some foil and put it on the grill and just kind of keep an eye on it and keep turning it. But super quick, super easy, and in season and delicious.
With 2 kids and 2 dogs, I do asparagus on the grill as well, but I like to put it inside the foil.
That's what I said.
Drizzle it and seal it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Keep it in the foil, like covered up.
Covered, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we do the
sorry.
same thing.
Yeah.
Or I like oil, and I like some balsamic vinegar, and then any number of
good.
spices. And because it's sealed, I'll put it
Lemon.
up on the higher shelf and let it
Right.
cook, and then I don't have to mess with it.
Right. And then it's also easy cleanup because you can eat it almost right out of the foil and then just toss
And then the foil goes right in the garbage,
Right.
so there's no dishes.
Very easy.
The other thing, and this is probably going to borderline on a little bit of bro science, hearsay, or otherwise, it's something we've actually seen when we prep physique competitors, and I'm not saying there's a scientific explanation for this, and it could possibly be placebo effect, I don't know. But we tend to see people get leaner a little bit easier if they're including asparagus and spinach as their vegetable choices.
Really?
Why? I have no idea.
I don't know why either.
And there may not be a reason. That's just what we see. So I'm big on the asparagus as well.
Yep.
And looking at what they have on the shelf in Hy-Vee today,
and we also get local asparagus from Wiltsey's, which is very nice. So for people who want to eat locally and nice, fresh, we got Wiltsey's that comes right into our store. They're out of Maple Park, Illinois, and they give us a lot of asparagus as well.
So if you're watching this and you don't have a Hy-Vee in your market, your local farm stands, at least in the greater Midwest, right now they're probably going to have asparagus.
Right.
In fact, they're going to have asparagus and probably not much else, at least at the time this being taped, because it's late May.
Right.
So what else do we have vegetable-wise? What would you do with celery?
Well, you can either chop it up and throw it in a salad, or you can just eat it like it is with peanut butter on it. That's what I like to do with celery. But what I would do as soon as I get home, I would prep all that. I'd cut it up the way, whatever I'm going to use it for. You could also use it in soups. It's great in soups. I mean, a lot of soups start with, some olive oil or some kind of oil, and then you kind of brown onion and celery and carrots. It's kind of typical for a soup. But for celery, I just use it with peanut butter.
Well, here's what would happen if I bought it. This would go home and it would go in the crisper drawer, and next week it'd be a brown, squishy mess, and it'd go in the garbage.
That's why I said you got to cut it up and do something with it when you get home.
And that's an incredibly useful tip. I like that idea. And I would probably do the same thing with peanut butter, or maybe even dip it in ranch.
Yes.
Or maybe get crazy and use like plain Greek yogurt, mix it with ranch seasoning, and make my own ranch protein dip.
Yeah, there you go.
Or almond butter.
That's a great idea.
That would be another option.
But you got to do the prep and get it cleaned up, or it is going to just sit there and you're going to forget about it. And so another tip I give people is, if you know that about yourself, if you know you take fresh broccoli and you throw it in your crisper drawer and you forget about it, I've done that before. I always say, get some frozen, because frozen isn't going to go bad. You use what you need, and then you put the rest back in the freezer. And people are always surprised when I suggest using frozen vegetables. But the reality is they're picked at their peak of ripeness, and they're flash frozen. So there's a lot of nutrients in them. And if you just get the bag that says broccoli or the bag that says green beans, that's all that's in there. There's no sauces, there's no added sodium or anything like that. So it's just what's in the broccoli.
And that goes back to, even if we could say and make the case that fresh is by far better than frozen, if you're not going to eat it and it's going to go bad, you might as well not buy it. And I agree, the frozen option, until you actually cook it, and we can probably have a discussion about different cooking methods and what it may or may not do to the nutritional value of the vegetable. Removing that from the picture, there's no difference between frozen or fresh, except you're not going to throw it out because it's spoiled.
Correct. They're both nutritious. They both have a lot of fiber and nutrients, and they're both good choices. And if the frozen's on sale, then you can stock up on it, put it in your freezer. It's not going to go bad.
And that's like berries. I'm big on doing that with berries.
I like berries.
I will not buy fresh berries unless my kids are asking for it, because almost every time when we do, they end up going bad, especially if they happen to be fresh on sale. So you end up buying more. It always seems like you can't eat them fast enough. Where frozen, like we were checking out in the frozen section here, the berries, they're not going to go bad. You can use them as you want them.
You can use them as you need them.
And you can still watch and, like you said, catch them when they're on sale and stock up.
So my husband will use frozen blueberries every morning on his cereal, like on oatmeal or something.
And what would be the benefit of that? Like we talked blueberries in the past.
The blueberries are good for your brain and the fiber and the antioxidants, so tons of things with blueberries. He's eating them mostly because it's good brain food for his brain and his memory. So, but the antioxidants are very high, and of course the fiber's high, so it's a great choice. But he literally just gets up in the morning, the first thing he does is he pulls out some frozen berries, puts them in a bowl, puts a little water on them to get them starting to thaw, and then gets his meal ready and then throws them on top.
So again,
easy.
The frozen is easy, and we're taking time out of the process, and that means you're going to be more likely to do it. Now
the other option though for fresh, like if blueberries are on sale, because June and July are coming, so here comes by July, berries are in season for sure, tons of them. And a great thing to do is to buy a bunch and freeze them yourself in like gallon Ziploc bags or something like that, freezer bags, and then you can put those away and save those for other times.
That is something you can do. Although I've had the best of intentions every time I thought I was going to do that with the fresh, they go bad before I make the
Well,
time
and
to
I
freeze
will say,
them.
when if you plan to freeze them, you got to wash them first and then let them
Dry
dry
'em.
completely, and then you can freeze them. But if you're not going to do that, then
They're
just
gonna
eat 'em,
go in
enjoy
the
'em.
garbage, which is what happens. It's like the crisper drawer. Now, one of the things, the last time we cooked, we used the broccoli slaw,
Right.
which I didn't even know that existed. And you'd pointed out, like,
Yeah, I love it.
instead of doing like shredded cabbage from
Right.
like a regular coleslaw, you can use broccoli slaw. This is something you can find at Hy-Vee or probably any grocery
Almost any
chain.
grocery chain will have
And
it.
you can make salads out of this. There's a ton of things that you can actually use this for. It's definitely something worth.
It could
taking a
be
look
the
at.
salad, or you could add it to greens. You could add it to other things. You could throw it in with like some quinoa, and do like a quinoa salad with the broccoli slaw in there as well, and then add your favorite dressing, and maybe I would add nuts to this. I mean, you can really do whatever you want.
Or
The sky's the limit.
Maybe even like a spring mix or anything
Yes,
else.
right. You could
So it'd
use
be
anything.
a standalone. Did the deputy come over and say hi? Hi, deputy. It could be the standalone salad as a side, part of the meal, or you can combine it with other vegetables. We've bought many bags of this since the last time we
I mean,
cooked.
you could do this and some cauliflower and some red peppers. I mean, you can make a really great little salad using just different vegetables, carrots or whatever you have with this as well.
And again, back to the prep. And if we can scoot back here, Tim. So back to taking time out of the process. Guess what they have? They have regular broccoli cut up. They've got regular
Broccoli,
cauliflower
carrots.
cut up. We already talked about the shredded carrots. So again, literally, you can buy a couple of these different prepared packages of vegetables, and you can make your own salad.
Right. Another thing I like about this, and it's kind of just a side note, is that it takes a long time to chew this. You get very full eating this because it takes you a while to chew through all that. So
from
it's high in fiber, and you're going to feel full pretty quickly.
You're gonna feel like you actually ate something.
Right,
You're not
right.
gonna finish dinner and say, well, geez, that's great. I ate quote unquote healthy, but I'm starving.
I mean, we made that wasabi dressing. You could even do a nice grilled piece of chicken and put it on a bed of this and a little of that wasabi dressing. That's a great salad.
The wasabi dressing is definitely something to check out. It's awesome.
It's good.
So what else? Did we cover enough today?
I think we have.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We're at the Hy-Vee in Sycamore, Illinois. Lisa and I will be
In June. 15th.
Wednesday the 15th, 6 o'clock, here at Hy-Vee in Sycamore. What's the title?
Don't rub Dad the wrong way. So it's all about rubs and marinades for barbecue grilling for Dad for Father's Day.
Just in time for Father's Day. So if you're in town, you're in our local market, we'd love to see you. Come on out. It's free. This video is brought to you by Eat by Color and Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee.